Today we are doing a short beginner Pilates routine. Let's get started. So I'm gonna have you lie down on your back as we get started with this Pilates routine today. So this is going to go over some of the basics and foundation movements of Pilates to make sure that you feel really comfortable as you move forward in your Pilates practice. So let's start with our feet flat. You're gonna have your feet hip distance apart and arms are down at your sides. So I want you to take an inhale. And on an exhale, you're gonna curl your tailbone and kind of rock your pelvis towards you. And then inhale to take it away and give a little arch in your low back. All right, you're gonna exhale, curl and roll. And inhale to arch. So I'm a physical therapist. I've also been teaching Pilates for almost 25 years. And I know that sometimes it can feel like you jump into what seems like it should be a beginner Pilates class and it takes you straight to some advanced moves. So we're really gonna go nice and slow here, but we're gonna make sure that we hit all of those foundation pieces to give you a good workout and to make you feel really, again, kind of safe and empowered in these movements. I want you to enjoy movement. So that's what we're gonna try to go for here. All right, now what I want you to do is as you exhale, curl your tailbone and you're gonna roll up into what we call a bridge in Pilates. So you're gonna try to come up and get those hips even with your knees or just go as high as you can. You inhale at the top and then you exhale and you let yourself roll back down. So I'll talk you through that again. You inhale at the bottom. Exhale, curl. You are trying to feel like you can peel off the mat one vertebrae at a time. And that alone can feel hard. If you're stiff in your back, you're gonna feel like you move up in chunks. That's okay. You're just working over time to try to get those backbones to move individually. We're gonna do a few more like this. So we're working your glutes, your hamstrings, and your back, so kind of the back body. And then also what we call spinal articulation. This is one of the main principles in Pilates is how do we move those vertebrae, your back, one backbone at a time. It's called articulation. And it's key to helping you have a healthy spine. Now, if you do have a fusion in your back, you can still do this, but just move up kind of at once, meaning just lift your hips up and down. Don't feel like you have to roll through your spine. You can still do a bridge, you're just not doing the rolling action. All right, this is your last one. Roll up. This is a great place to warm up. We're gonna roll up, we're gonna stay there, keep your bridge, reach your arms back, and then back to your sides. Two more like this. Definitely warming up the back body here. And on this one, reach the arms back, keep them there, and then roll, roll, roll back down. Nice job. Bring your arms down to your sides and bring your right leg to tabletop, which is this position here. It's a 90-90 position. All right, now from here, you're gonna lower that leg, just tap your toes on the ground and lift it up. Tap and lift. Two more. This is just preparing us for some of the core work that we get into in Pilates. It's just teaching you the position. Okay, lower that leg. Other leg comes up. Tap and lift. So as I mentioned, I always want to make sure that you feel like you have options. Like let's say we move to a crunch and that doesn't feel right for you yet, then you come right back to this move right here. So you always have an option. You never have to stop. Good, lower that leg down. So now we're gonna bring the right leg back up to that tabletop position. And then I want you to straighten it out. Reach through your toes. Pretend there's like a basketball right at that right foot and you're gonna draw a circle in the air the size of that basketball. So this is the foundation to an exercise we called leg circles. And we add a lot of different pieces to this, but we're thinking about disassociation, which means you're moving that leg without anything else moving. So it's strengthening through the hip, through the core, through the thigh, and now switch directions. And so over time, we can make this harder by making the circles bigger and by straightening the left leg out. But right now, this is a great place to start. 3, 2, 1, knee bends, leg comes down, and we'll do the other side. So tabletop first, then reach it out nice and straight. Point your toes. I want that leg as strong and straight as it can be, and then start your circles here. Relaxing your neck, relaxing your hands. Trust the strength in that leg through the hip. And pause and switch directions. Just remembering to breathe. I know it's really easy to hold our breath without realizing it. So nice deep inhales and exhales. Last 2. 1, nice job. Bend the knee, bring the leg down. And we're gonna bring hands behind your head. You want your thumbs at the base of your skull and elbows are wide. Take an inhale and then exhale, tuck your chin, and you're gonna peel your head and your shoulders. And if you can, you're aiming for your shoulder blades off the mat and then roll back down. So we're not coming all the way up. This isn't a sit-up. We're doing what we call a chest lift. It's similar to a crunch. You tuck your chin, roll up. See if you can look at maybe your belly button or your knees. I don't want you looking at the ceiling, okay? So that old thought that you're gonna hold an orange between your chin and your chest, that is not right. That's gonna cause a lot of neck tension. Tuck your chin, maybe hold a little marble as you roll up. And if you do get a lot of neck tension with crunches, I do have a video all about how to do a crunch without neck pain. So you can find that, and it's a great tutorial to help. Let's do 2 more. Tuck your chin first, roll up. Believe it or not, the higher your shoulder blades get, the less neck tension you'll have. Yes, you'll have more abdominal work for sure, but it takes the tension out of your neck. Nice job. Roll back down, release your arms, and then roll onto your left side. So you can have your head resting in your hand. You can also just use a pillow here if that's best for you. And you want your hips stacked, your bottom knee is bent, and reach out through your top leg. And again, point the toes, right? So we have really strong straight leg. It's in line with your hip. And then flex your foot and bring the leg forward, point and bring the leg back. So you flex the foot forward, point the leg back. And here too, it's like our leg circles. You're just moving the leg as much as you can that nothing else moves. Again, I don't want your back flattening or arching or anything else fishtailing around. So this is working now your outer hip. It's great for that hip abduction. And you feel like you're sliding that leg on a table, right? On an invisible table. It's not lifting up or dropping down. So now, keep the toes pointed. We're gonna take this into a circle, forward, up, and around. The beauty of these circular motions is you're getting movement all through that joint. You're helping with fluid in the joint. We have muscles that work in all these different directions around a joint. So it's really nice to work through these circular motions. Switch directions. So I'm gonna come up, forward, press it back. And here too, you're just moving as much as your leg is letting you move without other things moving around. So this might be really small. It might be bigger. It's gonna be different from one side to the other. Nice job. Bring that leg in. We're gonna take our time pressing up and we're gonna go to the other side. So take a moment to get yourself situated. Sometimes that's the hardest part in Pilates. There's so many things to think about, but all of this starts to get easier and more fluid as you do it more often. Hips are stacked. Reach the top leg out. Really reach, 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 reach. Then we're gonna flex the foot, bring the leg forward, point, and bring it back. So it's an inhale forward and exhale back. And again, I just want you breathing. Don't get too caught up if you're doing the inhales and exhales at opposite spots of me. That also will come later. So adding this flexion point of the foot actually does some really nice movement of your sciatic nerve too. Okay, last two. So when I come back now, I'm just gonna keep the toes pointed and I'm gonna bring the leg forward and up and around to start. Again, it's like it's sliding on that invisible table and just making the circle as big as you can, that your leg will allow, that you keep good form, that nothing else moves around. Switch directions. So over time, as you progress with Pilates, we will progress exercises. We'll add layers to exercises you already know. We'll get upright and do standing work. We might change the speed. There's a lot of things that we can do, but you can always come back to these basics. Nice job. Let that leg rest and roll onto your stomach. And I'm gonna give you two options. So the first option is we're just gonna find this position with our legs hip distance apart, elbows down, palms are down. And this is a great place to just breathe. It opens up your chest. It works on some thoracic extension. So you can just stay here and breathe if this is best for you. It's a great place to practice being. If that feels okay, come down for me and reach your arms long. And you're gonna lift your legs, your arms, your head, and your chest so you're floating. And we're gonna alternate our arms and legs kicking. This is called swimming. Big inhale, big exhale. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. And then come down. You can rest on one cheek. Separate your legs a little bit wider. And then we're all gonna meet back in child's pose. So you can press yourself back there. You can come up to this full stretch first. You can kind of explore what your body wants to do, what it's able to do. You always want to approach all this with curiosity and just say, what can I do today? What can this body do with me today? And then restack and bring your legs out in front of you. Have your legs mat distance apart. Pull your toes back towards you. And you're gonna sit up as tall as you can. And if this isn't doable for you, just work your way into it, or maybe sit up on a little stool or a block. And then we're gonna bring hands behind our head. And inhale, rotate to your left. And exhale, center. Inhale, right. Exhale, center. So this nice rotation, opening that upper spine. And then this position alone is really gonna mobilize through your hips. Last one. Nice job. Come back to center. Arms reach forward and exhale, dive. Inhale, restack. Exhale, dive again. Inhale, restack. And last one. Sit up nice and tall. Bring your arms down to your sides. And great job. You did so well. Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, you can do that routine regularly to start to see improvements in your Pilates practice and then move on from there. I'll see you on your mat soon.